Dear students, welcome to our history class of Standard 10th. Today we will continue with Chapter 2, Historiography, Indian Tradition. In the previous class, we have learnt about the tradition of Indian historiography. Today, we will learn about various ideological frameworks of Indian historiography. Indian historiography before independence. To begin with, colonial historiography. An Orientalist representation of India was common, promoting the idea of the superiority of modern Western civilization. The idea that India had no unity until the British unified the country was commonly given prominence in historical narratives. Along with this thesis, there was a representation of the 18th century India as a dark century, full of chaos and barbarity until the British came to the rescue. India was, in the opinion of many British observers, a stagnant society arrested at a stage of development. It followed that British rule would show the path of progress to a higher level. In essence, colonial historiography was a part of an ideological effort to appropriate history as a means of establishing cultural hegemony and legitimizing British rule over India. Just about this time, between 1806 and 1818, James Mill wrote a series of volumes on the history of India. And this work had a formative influence on British imagination about India. The book was entitled The History of British India. This book became a great success and it became a basic textbook for the British Indian civil service officers undergoing training at the East India College at Haileybury. Given the fact that Mill had never been to India, and the entire work was written on the basis of his limited readings in books by English authors on India. It contained a collection of prejudices about India and the natives of India which many British officers acquired in course of their stay in India. However, despite shortcomings from the point of view of authenticity and veracity and objectivity, the book was very influential. One of the distinct examples of colonial historiography is the 5 volumes of Cambridge History of India. Orientalist historiography. Orientalist school of historiography includes the thoughts of the Europeans who showed interest in the civilizations and the countries of the East as they encouraged and respected their history too. These scholars came to be known as the Orientalists. The Orientalists studied the similarities between Sanskrit and some European languages. They focused more on Vedic tradition and Sanskrit literature. Sir William Jones, a British lawyer and Orientalist, founded Asiatic Society of Bengal on 15th January 1784 in order to encourage Oriental studies. Among the Orientalist scholars, Frederick Max Müller deserves a special mention. Frederick Max Müller was a German-born philologist and Orientalist who lived and studied in Britain for most of his life. He was a Sanskrit scholar and philologist, was a pioneer in the fields of Vedic study, comparative philosophy, comparative mythology, and comparative religion. For Müller, the study of the language had to relate to the study of the culture in which it has been used. The Vedic language Sanskrit was thought to be the oldest of the Indo-European languages. Müller devoted himself to the study of this language, becoming one of the major Sanskrit scholars of his day. Muller had published his first book, a German translation of the Sanskrit text of Hitopadesh, a collection of Indian fables. Muller translated the Rigveda Samhita book from Sanskrit to English. He published the complete Rigveda, making use of the manuscripts available in England. He has also translated the Upanishads, the Sacred Books of the East, a 50-volume set of English translations, was prepared under his direction. Edward Said, father of Orientalism, was of the opinion that Orientalism is a clear study of the fabricated ideologies of the Orient. Orientalism, as tracked back as far as 3 centuries ago, entailed the translation of Oriental materials to the dominant British language, English. The British colonizers deemed it necessary to translate these materials in order to understand the people they sought to rule over. Nationalist historiography. Nationalist historiography means that the historical writings produced or reproduced by the Indian historians that highlight the Indian history from a national point of view. The national point of view represents the national culture and tradition. Commonly referred to as the Shivaji of the Marathi language, Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar criticized the conduct of the British government. He criticized the prejudiced history of ancient India written by the British officers. Some of the renowned scholars among the nationalist historians are Mahadev Govind Ranade, Ramkrishna Gopal Bhandarkar, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, Rajendra Lal Mishra, Ramesh Chandra Majumdar, Kashi Prasad Jaiswal, Radha Kumud Mukherjee, Bhagwan Lal Indraji, Vasudev Vishnu Mirashi, and Ananta Sadashiv Altekar. Vishwanath Kashinath Rajwade, popularly known as Itihasacharya Rajwade, was a historian, scholar, writer, commentator, and orator from Maharashtra. He is considered to be the first, in real sense, to undertake an immense research of Maratha history by visiting hundreds of villages and historical places all over India and gathering thousands of historical papers. He was also a commentator on various aspects of world history. He was the founder member of Itihas Sanshodhak Mandal at Pune. He compiled and edited 22 volumes of Marathanchi Itihasachi Sadhane. In 1895, he started a Marathi magazine called Bhashantar, which means translation, through which he brought works of Western historians and scholars such as Plato, Aristotle, and Edward Gibbon, and also Indian scholars like Shankaracharya in Marathi. Simultaneously, by writing articles and delivering speeches, he also started educating Marathi people on several subjects like history of Marathas, history of world, history of Marathi literature, grammar of Marathi, and Sanskrit languages. In 1910, he founded Bharat Itihas Sanshodhak Mandal at Pune and kept all his works and historical papers gathered by him in the custody of the Mandal. Justice Mahadev Govind Ranade, the father of Indian economics, has explained the background of the rise of Maratha Empire in great details in his book, The Rise of Maratha Power. The Indian War of Independence 1857 was the first book that regarded the Great Revolt of 1857 as India's first war of independence. This book, written by Veer Savarkar, inspired generations of Indian patriots since its first publication in 1909. This book is regarded as the best book ever written on Indian history. The British treated its colonies worse than slaves. India was the crown of all the colonies, and out of all the colonies caused the British utmost resistance. Veer Savarkar's strength and capability over languages so powerful places his book beyond Shakespeare or Tolstoy. Savarkar's book is translated in most languages of the world and serves as a huge inspiration to a true patriot of all countries. The nationalist historiography provided a momentum to the writing of regional histories too. As a result, the attention of historians was drawn to the geographic conditions and history of South Indian regions. So dear students, today we have discussed about historiography in India before independence. We shall discuss about historiography in the post-independence era in our next video. That's all for this class. Thanks for watching.